Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sam and Justin Show, otherwise known as SJW.
Yes, the SJW show.
Yes.
And trust me, we will be reflecting that name totally and honestly.
Yes, Sam and Justin Weekly is here.
Yes, that's
The
what it means.
The person you are hearing now is Justin.
Yeah, and I'm Sam, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I'm my legal name, but we're not going to discuss that here in the podcast.
We are not. So, Sam, what's happening in the world today since you love to keep up with everything?
What's happening? Well, North Korea, I just saw a recent article by them, or not by them, but I think it was by the Washington Post, where they were talking about their, the nuclear capabilities, right?
Yeah.
And they're saying this new H-bomb they developed,
Yeah.
apparently it can, wipe out the entire U.S. with one bomb. That's what they're claiming.
But isn't that, aren't H-bombs, pretty much all that powerful?
Yeah. The entire U.S., though?
Maybe half the U.S.
Every city? Oh, come on, man. You gotta be trolling.
Well, I mean, you gotta think about this, California's already barely hanging on to the states as it is, right?
I don't think they meant, vaporize everything. I mean, excuse me, I think they meant vaporize everything. The H-bomb's gonna destroy everything.
No,
Yeah,
no, I don't...
We're gonna detonate in Kansas. It's gonna blow up New York City. That's kind of what they were saying.
I highly doubt that's the deal. But, we're probably going to have some person, like a rocket engineer or some weapons expert that's going to be like, no, that's totally how it works. And we're just not going to read your comment.
I don't know. I mean, even the Tsar bomb, which I think was the most nuclear weapon, or the most powerful nuclear weapon ever developed by Russia, only could blow up maybe a few blocks of a city. Maybe. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it also in their statement they also said that they didn't do this nuclear test to provoke anybody, but I don't know. Why else would you do a nuclear test if it wasn't to provoke people? As
a show of power, to not provoke people by being like, look how powerful we are. You are now not provoked because you don't want to mess with us.
Yeah. But they said they didn't do it to provoke. They didn't do it to show any power. They just did it because they did it. It's kind of weird. Yeah.
Man, I mean, I've heard some bad things about the approval rating of their current leader. It might have been not to provoke anyone, but to instill that the ultimate leader is still the ultimate leader,
Yeah, but what's he going to do? H-bomb his own people?
Would you put it past him?
Well, it'd be kind of counterproductive, wouldn't it?
But would you put it past him?
Yeah, I would put it past him.
I don't know. I think they'd do some pretty crazy things.
H-bomb their own civilian population? That would make a lot of sense. Where else would they get their labor from? Imagine you're playing Civilization and you nuke one of your own cities.
That is a good point.
Yeah.
That's
even Gandhi wouldn't do something like that, as nuke crazy as he is,
You're right. What else, Sam? What else we got today?
Well, what else is going on?
Yeah.
Well, Iran, they took those two U.S. Navy ships, I believe, right?
Yeah, but weren't the sailors? I was reading earlier today in my class that they had actually released the sailors already.
Yeah, they released the sailors, but they have our Navy ships, which is a little kind of not weird. It's kind of terrifying actually, because these ships probably have some data on them and stuff, because they are U.S. military naval ships.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. They gave us the sailors back, but not the ships. They're probably data mining those ships as we speak, don't you think?
Probably. I mean, at least it wasn't like that Iranian hostage crisis where they were there for years.
Yeah, they probably just wanted the ships. Maybe their whole deal is... Maybe the deal's if we give them the sailors now, they'll forget about the ships.
Yeah, well, Iran's been having some troubles lately with the whole Saudi Arabian, more likely, crisis. With the whole diplomatic sort of ties being cut between those two countries. It's kind of crazy what's going on over there.
If you don't mind me switching gears for a moment.
Okay.
Speaking of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
So, oil by the barrel has just plummeted. It's at $30 now, I think? 30, 40?
It's slowest it's been since 2003, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. But it's something like $30, $40. That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, gas prices are pretty cheap now compared to 5 years ago.
Again, I was told a statistic today by a professor. 20% increase, sorry. Excuse my language. 20% decrease just from the beginning of January until now.
Oh. That's always nice, gas prices going down.
But what does it mean for
transportation and the cost of goods and all that? Yeah, it would go down.
Because BP just laid off 4,000 people in one day.
pretty crazy. I can't believe it's going down with all the unrest going in the Middle East. You think it'd be higher than ever, considering all the unrest going on with ISIS and all the foreign terrorist groups.
I felt the same way, and it makes me wonder why it's actually going down. Like, there has to be something, right?
Maybe the Saudi Arabians are trying to get on the U.S.'s good side. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It would be good people to have if they wanted to ever go against Iran.
Yeah, well, I don't think they'll ever get into a direct conflict. They're just getting into, diplomatic matches. I believe I even read that Iran has banned its citizens from going on Hajj.
Or maybe Saudi Arabia is
Mecca.
just like, hey, United States, if you go in and do that whole terrorist thing in Iran, we'll give you really cheap oil.
I don't know if that's the case.
You never know. Politics is the shadiest of all things.
I guess so. So, what else is going on in the world? Have you read anything else?
Well, as I'm sure most people know by now and are tired of hearing of, but I'm going to mention it anyway. David Bowie died.
Oh, okay.
The Starman, the
There we
Ziggy
go.
Stardust, Thin White Duke, the Tin Machine, whatever you want to call him. Great artist. Loved pretty much all of his stuff. Music will never be the same without him. He was one of the few people few musicians that adapted with each new era. And that's really rare. He was also a huge icon for being who you are.
I didn't really like his music, but I thought he was a pretty cool person.
Definitely, I can see why his music isn't for some people, but anybody who says that he wasn't like a good person, wasn't a cool person, they're kind of...
Yeah, I read on Reddit actually, he well, he didn't do it, but someone posted one of his letters to one of his first American fans, and he was all excited that he was becoming big in the U.S., and it was actually pretty cool to read.
Back in the early days when long hair was first becoming a thing, 60s, he was actually one of the heads of a group in his school that was against discrimination against long-haired dudes. And he also would go and travel to foreign countries and really poor villages, and there's a picture that I really love, and it's, I believe, an African country, and he's just reading to the kids there, this super ultra awesome pop star, and he's just sitting on the steps of a school with 10 school kids around him. He's just reading statically.
He's a pretty cool dude, just not a real big fan of his music.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see what else. Kim Davis was the State of the Union.
Yeah, invited by a Republican House Representative member, right?
Yes. Obviously, as a show against the Supreme Court ruling.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I think people need to learn about the Supreme Court. The Constitution says they're the final ruling, so just stop.
Right, yeah. A lot of people in America don't really know how the legal system works in America.
Especially Supreme Court Chief Justice in Alabama, Roy Moore. Who somehow believes that he has power over everything when the Constitution states that the Supreme Court of the United States has the final say in everything, so he actually has no legal power against it.
Yeah. Speaking of the Supreme Court, they actually made a landmark ruling recently regarding the death penalty in Florida, actually.
Oh, please, do discuss.
Well, they've marked down Florida's death penalty as unconstitutional, and their reasoning behind this was, apparently in Florida, well, until recently, of course, judges were the only ones who could give out death penalties. It wasn't up to the juries to decide that. The juries could only, advise that they give the death penalty, and recently SCOTUS, Supreme Court, has struck down that law as unconstitutional. So for the time right now, I guess there's no death penalty in Florida technically until they reinstate it, maybe.
So SCOTUS has a problem that only the judge can do it.
Yeah.
Are you saying they'd be fine if the jury could decide it?
Yeah, I think that was their consensus.
Oh, okay, yeah, that I can definitely say because of how the legal system's supposed to work.
And the ruling was 8-1. It was,
wow,
it was a crazy amount of affirmation.
Wow, that was insane.
I really wanted to read the dissenting judge's opinion, but I couldn't find it anywhere.
Going on to politics, because politics is a huge thing in America and all over the world, but definitely in America currently with how Obama's in his last year.
Right.
Donald Trump is always a great topic.
Yeah.
But more importantly, House Majority Speaker, the Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan. What do you think about about his conflicting opinions with Trump?
I feel like he sort of speaks his mind, which is always a good thing. But he certainly still holds like Republican norms. Like I actually read recently his reaction to the Obama's State of the Union, and it was kind of a very harsh criticism of it actually.
Yeah, but a lot of people are rallying around Trump with his view on immigration and the and Muslims
Right.
overall. And in a statement, Paul Ryan said that he refused to pass a law that would bring religion to the forefront of immigration, to where religion would affect your immigration status, whether you would be approved or not, because he said that wasn't America and that's not who we are. And yet the Republican Party, or at least the people who support Trump, since he's a Republican frontrunner, seem to be the complete opposite. What are your opinions on that specifically?
Well, Paul Ryan has a tough job being Speaker of the House now with the rise of the Tea Party. He sort of has to deal with both establishment Republicans and also these anti-establishment Tea Party members, which are really taking over Congress. They've won multiple seats, and Donald Trump, although not an official Tea Partier, sort of exemplifies some of their views about immigration and such. So I think Paul Ryan needs to learn to be kind of the middleman, try to calm down the Tea Party while also trying to appease the establishment if he's going to be in office for much longer. That saying, even if the Republicans can maintain control of the House till the next election cycle.
All right, we're going to let's keep on this track and let's talk about the presidential race.
Okay.
Trump. Just gonna
yes or no?
Throw it out there.
No. Well, see, here's the thing. Donald Trump, I think he's certainly interesting to listen to. I think he gives very impassioned, fiery speeches and such. But as a leader, I don't know. Like, I find myself conflicted because sometimes he says things that are very sensible, like mainly his economic policies about how China is has all these sort of advantages of the U.S., how their exportation costs aren't that much. But when it comes to like the other 40%, it's just insane.
So like, because of his business background, the fact that he speaks sensibly about economics, that makes complete sense.
Yeah. But he's just so insane on the other issues. It's like, I can't support you. I'm sorry, dude.
Personally, I think he's one of the greatest politicians of all time. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with anything he says, but there's a difference between being a good person and a good politician. Because first of all, he guises as not a politician, as a businessman. So people let their guard down around him and they don't see him as a politician. But he does the whole McCarthy shtick really great. Like, he is McCarthy, except with Muslims.
I would say Ted Cruz is better at doing that. But that maybe I'm biased because Ted Cruz looks just like Joe McCarthy.
While you're right, Trump is more McCarthy because he's crazier about it.
I guess so. I don't know, like, I found McCarthy to be, like, threatening and, like, sort of have this presence about him. I think Trump's just kind of a joke. Obviously to me is, but not to, like, the people who are actually going to elect him. Yeah. That being said, I wasn't alive to see McCarthy, so maybe I am completely off. Let me just say this much.
Yeah. Okay, the Democratic side.
Well, you got Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and I believe O'Malley's is still in the race, but...
Really? So Clinton's still polling ahead, by not as much, but still a good margin.
Yeah, actually, I was reading some poll numbers, and she is falling, and Bernie is rising. And
I noticed that last time. I think she had gone from something like 10 points.
I mean, we
to like
could
7.
look it up real quick if we have to, but yeah. Well, she's fallen. Well, this is from like averaging polls, so this isn't like a single poll. This is just a bunch of polls averaged together.
Yeah.
She was falling, and Bernie was climbing. I know Bernie has a huge lead in like New Hampshire, because he was a senator from Vermont, I believe. So he knows New England. So if he wins Iowa, that could be a potential way to secure the Democratic nomination. But it's either give or take at this point. Who's going to win Iowa?
I did just jump right back onto the Democratic side when we didn't discuss any of the Republican candidates besides Trump.
To be fair, only one of them really has a serious threat to Trump, and that's Ted Cruz. Everyone else is polling like in the single digits, besides like Marco Rubio and
So Netflix and chill with Ted Cruz. You remember that thing?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real thing, by the way. I think it's real. I don't know. It was on the internet. It might not be real, but if it is real, it's like the funniest thing ever.
But
maybe you could inform them about that, Justin.
Can we? Basically, it's this thing to where you donate to Ted Cruz, and like the highest donator gets to quote Netflix and chill with Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I don't think Ted Cruz understands what that means.
I don't think
any of his campaign managers.
I was gonna say anyone in the Republican Party.
Oh.
But you know, they're not all old white people anymore, so I can't say that.
There's an old black person now, Ben Carson.
Yeah. I mean, Alabama's always had Alvin Holmes, but
Alvin Holmes, man, that's a reference.
Yeah. Anything else that you found interesting today or within the past few days?
I can't think of anything right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in America, but I don't think it's particularly interesting.
Well, El Chapo. Yeah, El Chapo was supposed to be moved to his cell today.
Are they sending him to the same prison he escaped from?
I didn't read that. I got as far as El Chapo to be sent to his cell today and was like, wow, it's not an isolation cell. He's going to escape.
Probably. I heard they were trying to extradite him to the U.S., but I don't know why they haven't done that before. Because he's definitely committed crimes, at least in Texas or some of the other bordering states. But,
yeah.
He might escape for what's now, the third time?
It would be the third time.
The third time.
He's, you have to admire his tenacity. Whether you like him or not,
I guess
you have to admire his tenacity.
Yeah.
The same way you admire Trump's. Standing far, far away.
Yes, standing very far away.
Speaking, I guess, everything seems to go back to Trump these days in America because he's the one making all the headlines with his controversial statements.
He has claimed to start like multiple national conversations. I think he said like no one was talking about immigration before he was.
Well, we were, just not to the extent because we weren't being giant.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Pricks.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah. We weren't trying to build a wall that would be completely useless.
Well, you're right. There are enough underground.
Yeah, tunnels. I mean, it's like, let's build like a 10-foot wall. That's not going to stop immigrants from hopping over the wall. And we can't possibly monitor all the U.S. border 24/7.
Yes, we can. Don't you know we need jobs, man?
Jobs. Yeah.
Help the economy.
So where we get the money from, though?
The people we arrest. We're trying to get over.
How we get the money, though?
Honestly, if we have the wall, we could probably get smugglers more often, and government could just take the cocaine or whatever they're smuggling over, and that'd be a lot of money.
No, we're not in the Reagan administration anymore. The Iran-Contra is not going to happen again. At least I don't think it is. Who knows?
I'm wondering how many ill comments are going to be thrown at you now.
What?
Because you're talking bad about the god that is Reagan.
Let me just say this. I kind of like Reagan in some ways, all right? But I don't think he's like the best president we've ever had. I know it's a controversial statement to make,
Man, I really hope they don't mix our voices up now, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to take the hateful comments.
My favorite Republican president is Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, going old school. The first Republican president. Granted, that was a completely different Republican Party, but he's still a Republican.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, see? Reagan, what do you do? He lied about the space program. Lincoln, freed the slaves.
In the South.
Just saying.
In the South.
Just saying.
In the South.
He freed some Union states, too.
Yeah, but...
There were 4 slave states in the Union.
But Emancipation Proclamation, that was...
Well, he didn't do it. The soldiers did, but they did it under his orders,
Yep, okay, yeah.
Well, people claim all kind of... I remember when Osama bin Laden was kind of like, Obama got bin Laden. Like, no, he didn't. The SEAL team did. But I guess Obama was kind of a part of that.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you're right. So, keeping it more or less in America.
Okay.
The Muslim protest at the Trump speaking.
I actually haven't heard about this very much.
Oh, okay. So basically, the deal is that because of Trump's comments about his, I'll call it the Muslim ID system.
Okay.
Do you need me to explain that?
Isn't that just basically going to be like a register kind of thing where you like register you're Muslim?
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
same. Eerily similar to the same thing the Jews had to do in Nazi Germany.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
And so naturally, what this lady did is that she went in full. She had her hijab on, and in Muslim garb, and stood at the rally with what looked to be a Jewish, like not Jewish star, but like the Nazi Jewish star, if you get what I'm saying.
The Nazi Jewish star?
Like the star they put on the Jews to
Star
signify.
of David?
Yeah, Star
Well,
David.
that is a Jewish symbol, though.
It is, but like the way it was, the design of it was the Nazi design and not like
The Nazi. Okay, so it was the Star of David, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. And she just stood there and said nothing, and
Okay.
he evicted her,
All right.
basically for being Muslim. And she didn't say anything. She never did anything. But on her way out, everyone there was like calling her names, telling her to get out of the country, telling her she was a dirty Muslim, things, etc., etc., etc. And Trump was praised for his actions. Everybody there praised everybody, yelling slander and derogatory things at her. And I was like, just wondering, like, how do you feel about that?
I feel Trump can kick whoever he wants to have his rallies. Really, I don't deny him that right. Now, do I think he's right in doing it? No, but I don't think we should tell Trump who he can and can't kick out.
What
of his
about the
rally.
crowd?
The crowd?
Yeah, that
I mean,
was,
what'd you expect? It's a Donald Trump crowd. Did you see? One of his speeches in the background. There's this dude holding a sign. I think it says like Osama bin Obama, or like they're making comparisons between Obama and Osama bin Laden.
see,
So these are the people who attend these rallies. So what more
see,
do you expect for them to say?
see, I'm really actually more mad about that since Obama's middle name is Hussein. I'm more mad it wasn't like Saddam Hussein Obama. See,
Maybe
because
it
that would make
was.
way more
I don't know.
sense.
It was some dumb joke. I can't remember.
What about the guy that he kicked out in like negative 10-degree weather and took his coat?
I'm not sure if that's true actually.
It's on video.
I don't see. Did he order this, or did his security guards take their own actions?
He said to confiscate his coat.
I'll have to verify some information.
He
about
said
this.
to confiscate his coat,
I don't know.
and that they would mail it to him in a couple weeks.
I don't know if that's
And he
true.
was praised for these actions.
I don't know if that's true.
You can find the video.
I'll definitely look into it, but I don't know. That sounds kind of off to me. Because there have been numerous false accusations throughout this campaign season.
You're right. But I've seen multiple videos of it, and yeah, he's
You
praised.
sure this video wasn't taken out of context for some reason?
Even if it was, he took this guy's coat and put him out in negative 10-degree weather.
Okay, more or less. That's pretty awful if it's true.
Which it is.
Verification.
Verified by me.
Verified by you? Okay. If Justin says so, then if I say anything wrong, blame Justin. There.
Nah. Remember, he's the one who said Reagan wasn't that great of a president.
I didn't say he wasn't that great of a president. I just didn't say he was the best president, you know? It's crazy. People on the internet misinterpreting what you say.
That is a crazy thing. So, on to what I'll say our last topic of the day is.
Our last topic of the day?
Yeah. Or the week, I guess.
Of the week?
Yeah.
Well, this is SJW, Sam Justin
Yes.
Weekly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, of the week.
Why don't we talk about these safe spaces on campus?
That's exactly what I was actually going to.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, our college does not have a safe space.
Yeah, we don't. Which, I don't know, I'm kind of mixed about it. Like, I feel if there's a safe space for, like, let's say, victims of, like, sexual assault or something like that, I think that's okay. To, for them to go discuss their problems. But if it's for, like, these SJW types who, sort of want to
Who don't listen to Sam and Justin Weekly.
Yeah. Maybe you are. Maybe you'll leave your comment in the comment section below. But anyways, these people who kind of hide from ideas, I think that's the term being used now, hiding from ideas. Honestly, I would be shocked if it was anywhere near this campus that we had a safe space like that.
Yeah, when it comes to safe spaces, I definitely agree that the idea behind them is a good idea. Like, a nice place to retreat is it's good. Like everybody needs to retreat every now and then, but just it needs to be substance. Like you said, like maybe for homosexuals, like the original safe spaces were.
Yeah.
Like for homosexuals, for abuse victims, for victims of sexual assault, which does not exist in Alabama.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I don't know if we want to get into that, but
Do you mind if I get into it?
sure, you can give a short, brief summary.
Basically, sexual assault exists, but it doesn't. It's called sexual abuse in Alabama, but it's still the same thing that sexual abuse will be in other states. Just the term sexual abuse does not exist in the legal book of Alabama.
Yeah. So
victims victims of that, victims that even a good one, it'd be depression would even be okay.
Yeah, I would say so, but yeah.
Especially because of stress-induced depression on college campuses, which is so high nowadays.
Yeah. My main issue is these people are trying to turn the entire campus into a safe space. Like, everywhere you have to act a certain way, or basically you risk getting kicked out.
Well, freedom of speech, you're not always going to like what you hear, and that's just something you have to deal with. And it's a side effect of living in a country to where you can actually say what you want without being killed by the government.
If a private university wanted to do something like this,
that'd be okay.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. But if it's somewhere like a publicly funded school like the one we go to, then I would definitely be sort of afraid of the precedent that sets for us.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So, any closing comments for the week?
I think Reagan's an okay person. I just want to leave. I just want to leave off with that. I think he's okay. All right. Don't attack me. All right.
I am Justin.
And I'm Sam.
He's Sam. This is SJW, our weekly podcast. In the comments, if you'd like, you can comment suggestions as to topics to cover, discuss our views, counterpoint our views. Just make sure to bring evidence.
Yeah. Correct us maybe if we made a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. We're not. We're not going to. What's the word? Grill you out.
Yeah.
For correcting us. Everybody makes mistakes. It's a human thing.
By the way, if you correct us, maybe draw some evidence. Some information to correct us.
Yeah. Never correct without evidence. That's a main point. And just if you have any suggestions for the show, if you want us to add segments, drop segments, if you comment, we'll take it into consideration. I'm personally considering maybe a video game segment in the future for new releases.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But besides that, yeah, this is Justin signing off, and
this is Sam.
Cool. See ya, dudes.